2020 has taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot about myself. It's taught me a lot about other people. It's taught me a lot about the law of attraction. And most importantly, it's taught me how to protect my peace. Okay, protecting your peace is a very important skill to have in today's society. In a world of constant stimulation, it's very easy to be influenced by different stimuli that you see in your day-to-day life, whether on your social media feed or on the news or from the people that you interact with on a day-to-day basis who are being exposed to those things. One thing you have to understand is that your vibration is the key element in manifesting your desires. Okay, so if your vibration is low, it's going to be much harder to get the things that you want to get out of life. Simply put, if you are constantly in a low vibrational state, you're going to find yourself being victimized much more often. And it'll create this subconscious self-fulfilling prophecy, and it'll build on itself until you decide to do something about it. And that's what's happened to a lot of people in 2020. There's a lot of different things going on, not only to the world, but at the individual level. A lot of people have experienced tragedy at a personal level. And, some people have taken this as an opportunity to learn and grow and become more of themselves, whereas other people have let this make them miserable. They've allowed these tragedies to turn them into miserable, judgmental people. Now, I'm not saying that there's a right way or a wrong way to live your life. That's all subjective. But what I will say is that if you want to manifest things much easier, you have to learn how to protect your vibration. And in order to protect your vibration, you have to learn how to protect your peace. So the very first thing you need to do to protect your peace is learn the art of agreeing to disagree. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is something that I myself need to improve at. I find myself getting caught up in very petty arguments about insignificant topics. Arguments that a few days later I don't even remember. And, sometimes it may be with people in real life. Other times it may be in YouTube comments. Overall, I just need to work on this myself. I'm not perfect. Learning to agree to disagree helps you so much. It helps you so much in terms of your vibration, because when you're engaging in these petty arguments that you really have nothing to gain from other than a temporary ego boost, you're going to find yourself miserable. Now, me personally, I am exposed to a lot more opinions than the average person because I'm a YouTuber. Even though I'm not on social media at the moment, I'm exposed to a lot more opinions, especially regarding me. Okay, I am faced with constant support and constant criticism of me and my ideals. And at first, this really did bother me. When you're not used to receiving criticism to that extent, when you first start to receive it, it's going to shake you up a little bit, especially if you're not fully secure in yourself. But I took it as an opportunity to become more secure within myself and realize that you can't please everyone. There's no such thing as right or wrong. It's all opinionated. Everything is subjective. It's relative to your perspective, your limited scope of life that you experience. So I've learned to take everything that people say about me or about anything else related to me or even things not related to me with a grain of salt. And if you want to protect your peace, I would recommend that you do the same thing. Don't engage in these little petty arguments just to prove that you're right, because you have nothing to gain from those arguments. The next thing that you can do to protect your peace is mind your business. Okay, mind your business. It's very simple, easy, but a lot of people seem to struggle with this. A lot of people want to be involved in what other people are doing, especially with social media. Social media has normalized becoming nosy. A lot of people are more invested into the lives of celebrities or of their peers than they are in their own lives. And they don't really understand just how meaningless this is until they get off of social media, until they get away from the business of other people and they focus more on their own lives. And they realize that their life can be just as good, if not better, than those people's lives. This is especially applicable to all of my people in school. Okay, if you're in school, especially middle or high school, you know that there's a lot of drama everywhere, a lot of toxicity. It's natural. You're with a bunch of kids. One thing that I was really good at in high school was staying out of drama. I was never involved in drama, ever. Throughout my whole entire childhood, going through school, kindergarten through 12th grade, senior year, graduation, I was never involved in drama. And because of that, my childhood was pretty peaceful. One thing you need to understand is that when you invest yourself into the lives of other people, you are inheriting their vibrations. Okay, you're allowing their energy to affect you, whether you know it or not. This applies to music, this applies to videos that you watch, content that you consume, and business that you involve yourself in. You know, if you are constantly investing yourself into negativity and drama, your energy will begin to reflect that. Now, minding your business will be much, much easier if you learn to keep your circle small. Now, for someone like me, this is very easy, and it always has been. I don't really have that type of personality that is attention grasping. You know, I was never the center of attention throughout school. I was always kind of like doing my own thing, and I just had my core group of friends that I kept basically from like 5th grade all the way until now. I know with 100% certainty that this is the reason why I was never involved in any drama. The less people that you surround yourself with, the less opportunities there will be to be invested into drama. You know, if you're around 5 people all the time, your chances of encountering drama or toxicity will be much, much lower than the social butterflies, you know, the people that are constantly surrounded by others. You know, if you have a big circle, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to understand that that comes at a cost, and you need to learn how to set boundaries with those people and keep certain people at a distance, because not everyone is good for you. And that brings me into my next point, which is cut off toxic people. Learning to cut off toxic people is an absolute game changer. Now, like I said, I didn't really have to do much of this growing up because I kept my circle small anyways, and I didn't really allow new people into my circle unless they proved to me that they were worthy of that. You know, if somebody brought toxic energy around me, it wasn't even that I cut them off. I just didn't let them in the first place. But for some of you, you may already have toxic people in your life. Now, what is a toxic person? A toxic person is somebody who, when you're around them, you always come away feeling terrible. If being around somebody makes you feel bad every single time you're with them, that is more than likely a toxic person. Now, these people come in many different forms, but focus on the feeling that you get when you're around them. If they make you feel bad about yourself, about the world, about anything else, they are toxic and should be cut out of your life. Now, once you start to cut off toxic people and you make your circle smaller, what's going to happen is you're going to find a lot more time to be by yourself. Now, some people struggle being by themselves. I was definitely one of these people for a good little minute. You know, I felt like I constantly needed to be around somebody. And what I later realized is that I had that feeling because I couldn't stand my own company. If you can't stand your own company to the point that you have to be around somebody all the time, you need to work on yourself. You need to spend more time alone. You need to find a way to enjoy your own company. Because if you don't enjoy your own company, nobody else will. You are the only person that has to be with yourself around the clock, your whole entire life. You have to be with yourself. You have to live with your secrets. So if you can't accept yourself to the point that you can be by yourself, spend time alone, and learn more about yourself and develop your relationship with yourself, then you'll never live a truly happy and fulfilling life, because it'll always be contingent upon the feelings that others can provide you. This is how attachments are formed. And when you develop attachments, you become the toxic person that needs to be cut off. The next thing that you can do to protect your peace is to delete social media, and right along with that is stop watching the news. A lot of people interpret that as you being ignorant. You know, ignorance is bliss. You want to be uninformed. You don't want to accept the harsh realities of the world. What you have to understand is that social media and the news only show you what they want you to see. Okay, you don't necessarily know what's actually going on in the world. By relying on social media and the news to inform you, you're going to stay in a low vibration because they feed off of that. Okay, they feed off of you being fearful, because when you're fearful, you come back for more. you come back for more in the hopes that there will be good news. But more often than not, that doesn't happen. And for social media specifically, not only do you have to face that, but you also have to be invested in more drama. When you're on social media, it's almost impossible to avoid drama. Now, if you're using social media to create, that's something different. At that point, it's not really social media anymore. It's just you doing what you do. It's a platform for you to express your individuality. That's what social media is meant for. It's meant to create and connect people from around the world. But from a day-to-day standpoint, social media just perpetuates a lot of drama and a lot of toxicity and a lot of groupthink. Okay, a lot of groupthink happens because of social media. People have lost the ability to think independently, to think for themselves. They're heavily influenced subconsciously by the things that they see on social media, the things that they see as acceptable. And because they're not secure within themselves, as they consume this information, they are changing who they are, who they think they are, to accommodate that groupthink. A lot of people are afraid to speak their minds. A lot of people are afraid to express what they actually believe because they're scared of being judged. Take some time away from social media, stop watching the news, spend time by yourself, do everything that I said on this list, and all of that will begin to fade away naturally, and the life that you desire will start to fall into place in front of your very eyes.